Hello everyone, welcome to weekly lecture videos. This week our topic is Introduction to Valuation, the time value of money, and discounted cash flow valuation. We are covering two chapters this week, chapter 4 and chapter 5. So let's start with chapter 4, Introduction to Valuation and the time value of money. As usual, we have several learning objectives in this chapter. For example, we will learn about future value and present value of cash flows. We will learn how to calculate the rate of return of an investment and also how to find the time period to find out the desired value of an investment. And I will be uploading one video on each of these learning objectives. So first of all, let's start with the future values. The first thing we're going to learn in this chapter is future value. Okay, so future value refers to the amount of money an investment will grow to over some period of time at some given interest rate. Okay, so if I explain in another way, future value is the cash value of an investment at some point in time in future. Okay, for example, you can see the equation here. So future value is the present value, which is the value of the cash flow today. Then we multiply it by 1 plus r power t. R is the interest rate, and t is the time period. So future value is the value of a cash flow that we have today if we earn a particular interest rate and over a time period. Okay, so this is what I have explained already. So future value is the amount of investment or at a future time, and present value is the value of the cash flow today. R is the interest rate, and t is the time period. Now, this interest rate essentially is the rate of return that we expect to earn on this investment. We also explain it as a discount rate that reflects the rate of return we want to earn from this investment, and that represents the required rate of return as well as the opportunity cost of capital. We will be explaining this term more details later. And T is the number of periods. Okay, so you can see that this is essentially the present value or the value of the cash flow today. And if we earn an interest rate, then this is the future value of this cash flow after 1 year. And this is the future value of the cash flow after 2 years. Okay, so look at this. Look at a $100 lump sum due at the end of year 2. So if we are investing $100 today and the value of this $100 after 2 years, that will be the future value. Okay. Now we need to understand two more concepts. One is the simple interest, another is compound interest. Simple interest is when interest is earned only on the principal amount. For example, you are investing $100 today, and you are calculating the future value after 1 year. And if interest is earned only on the principal amount, that is simple interest. Compound interest, on the other hand, reflects when the interest is earned on both principal and the interest received. Okay. And that's why compound interest is called interest on interest. Okay. So look at this example. Suppose you want to find a 2-year investment that pays 14% per year, and you invest $325. Okay. Now, how much it will have a value after 2 years? So look at this. So future value, if you can remember the formula, future value equals to present value into 1 plus r power t. right? So R is the interest rate and T is the time period, which is 2 years. And if we solve this, we find that it is 422.37, which means that if we invest $325 today, earn 14% interest, the value of this investment will be 422.37 after 2 years. Okay. Now, this has essentially earned the compound interest because since it's 14% interest and we invest $325, we earn an interest at the end of year 1. And the second year interest is calculated on both the principal, which is $325, and the interest that is earned on year 1. Okay. So you can see the total interest earned is 97.37 because 325 is the principal and 97.37 in the interest, which is the future value of the investment. Now, if we want to find out how much is the simple interest and how much is the compound interest, now look at this. Simple interest means interest will be calculated only on principal. So you can see 14% is the interest, 2 periods. And if we multiply it by 325, we see that $91. So that is the simple interest earned only on the principal. However, we see the total interest earned on this investment was $97, which means the compound interest or the interest on interest is $6.37. Okay, so simple interest when interest is earned only on principal, which is $91, and interest on interest amount is $6.37. So when we consider compound interest, the total interest earned is $97.37. Okay. Now, this is just another example that if we invest $100, interest earned and interest rate is 10%, first year interest would be 10. So end of the year, it's 110. So next year, interest will be calculated on these interest and principal both. As a result, you can see the amount of interest earned gradually increases because interest is earned on interest amount also. And total interest earned becomes 61.05 over this 5-year period. So this graph shows the simple interest as well as the compound interest, right? For example, you can see when $100 is invested, interest rate is 10% per year. So this blue part shows the interest on the principal amount, and this part, this yellow part shows the interest on interest amount, okay? And combinedly, that is the interest earned on both interest and principal, and the value of the investment after 5-year period becomes 161.05 when we invested $100 and earned 10% interest per year. Okay, so you can see that when we consider compound interest, the value of the investment is higher compared to when we consider simple interest. So this is just a table showing how the money will grow for different interest rate. And this is the future value factor table. Okay, so for example, when interest rate is 5%, the future value factor is 1.05, right? Which means that the principal will grow at this rate, and in the second year at this rate, in the third year at this rate. So when you have a present value, for example, 100, and you have an interest rate of 10%, after 1 year, the value of your investment will be this, okay? And after 2 year, value of your investment will be 1.1025. 1.1025. So you can also use this future value factor to find out the future value of an investment. And you can see that this future value factor is higher as the interest rate is higher because the money will grow at a higher rate when the interest rate is higher. Okay, so this is another example. You have found an investment that pays 12% per year. The rate sounds good to you, so you invest $400. Now, how much you will have in 3 years period. Once again, that's a very straightforward example. So 400 you invest, 1 plus interest rate, which is 12% power 3, which is the time period. So your investment will grow to 561.97 after 3 years. And if you want to find out how much the value will be in 7 years, so only thing change is this T. So instead of 3, it is 7. So future value grows to $884.27. So we invest $400, earn 12% interest. After 7 years, the value of the investment will be $884.27. And once again, it shows that how much interest earned from simple one and how much is the interest on interest. So 400 was the investment. 7 year is the period, 12% is the interest. So simple interest was $336. However, if you can remember, our interest was, so 400 is the principal, and the value of the investment after 7 years is 884.27. So total interest earned was, total interest earned was 484. Am I right? So you can see there's 336 is the simple interest. However, the total interest was 484, which means the $184 was earned on interest. Okay. So this is how we can calculate that how much we earn when we apply simple interest and how much we earn on the interest and what is the total amount we earn when compound interest is considered. Okay. Just another example, in 1803, the United States acquired the Louisiana Territory for US dollar 15 million. Suppose the French had invested the 15 million at 10%, roughly 216 years have passed since the transaction. How much would it be worth today? Was it a good thing? So once again, a straightforward example, 15 million, 10% is the interest, as 216 years. So the value should be 13 quadrillion, 15 zeros. So that would be the value or the worth today. Okay, so that's the end of our discussion in this video. So essentially in this video, we have learned what do we mean by future value, the value of an investment at a future date. And we learned about simple interest and compound interest. And we have seen that how money will grow if simple interest is considered and compound interest is considered. So in the next video, we will learn about present value. Thank you very much.